I have insomnia really badly, so I don't sleep very well because of my size. I never really know when I go to bed if that's going to be the last time.
There's never a time when I'm not in extreme pain, just pain, throughout my entire body.
Some transformations are impressive, but these are beyond belief. From patients who could barely walk to standing tall and living life like they never thought possible, these journeys defied the odds and silenced every doubt. It took sweat, pain, sacrifice, and sheer willpower, but the results? Absolutely jaw-dropping. Let's dive right into it, shall we? Karen's world keeps shrinking, not because the walls are closing in, but because her own body has become a cage. Every step around the house feels like a mile uphill with bricks on her back. She's reached a point where movement is no longer routine. It's an obstacle course she can barely start. The stakes are higher than just discomfort. Every night in bed, she wonders if her heart will give out before sunrise. With Dr. Now in her corner, she's clinging to the hope that she can fight for her health before it's too late.
It's very hard to sleep when I have different thoughts racing through my head. I worry about the what-if scenarios I've created in my head that hasn't even happened, never have happened. But so it just kind of feels like I'm living in a nightmare that I've created.
The pain is constant, but what's worse is the fear. Even something as simple as walking to the bathroom feels like it could end in collapse. The thought of her spine giving out, her breath vanishing, hangs over her every move. Nights are the hardest. She lies in bed, staring into the dark, not sure if she'll open her eyes again. Living with that dread is exhausting. She knows things can't stay this way forever, but the climb toward change feels impossibly steep from where she's standing, if she can even stand at all.
I live with my children. I have a son and a daughter, twins. My kids are everything to me. It's humiliating for me having to ask my daughter to help.
If there's one bright spot in this mess, it's Karen's daughter. She doesn't just help, she wants to help. When Karen apologizes for needing assistance, her daughter brushes it off without hesitation. She'd rather her mom lean on her than risk injury trying to do it alone. There's a quiet kind of love in that willingness, the sort of devotion that doesn't demand thanks. It's clear this bond runs deep, even if it's tangled up in worry. Her daughter sees past the weight and limitations, holding on to the person her mother still is underneath.
The fact that I'm winded just walking from my bedroom to the bathroom is not good. I'm supposed to take medicine for anxiety, but I haven't been to an appointment in a while, so no medications right now.
Karen carries more than just physical weight. Asthma squeezes her lungs, and anxiety wraps around her mind like a vice. She admits she hasn't kept up with her medication, skipping appointments until her mental health slipped further. The cycle is familiar. Physical pain feeding emotional distress feeding the urge to numb herself. That's the storm she's walking into as she prepares to work with Dr. Now. The question isn't just whether she'll follow the plan, it's whether she can untangle the knots of fear and avoidance that keep pulling her backward.
There was at an age where I was given an assignment, I didn't understand it, and the person who was in charge of helping me with my homework.
Food became Karen's lifeline long before her health spiraled. In her childhood, there was no safe space for feelings, no one to lean on when life turned cold. She learned early to keep her emotions locked up, replacing comfort with something she could always reach: food. Each bite dulled the ache, even if it never truly healed it. The habit stuck, wrapping itself tighter over the years. Now, it's not just a coping mechanism, it's the foundation of her world. To change her body, she'll have to confront the ghosts that first drove her to the kitchen.
It's kind of like an unspoken secret. We don't talk about it, but I think it's just because they're blinded by their love for me and the fact that, I still do things. They don't realize how bad it is.
Karen's son paints a picture of his mom that feels worlds away from her current reality. To him, she's the kindest soul he knows, the person who makes him feel safe in a chaotic world. It's a reminder that her identity isn't just her weight, it's her warmth, her care, her presence in his life. Seeing her take even short walks matters to him. The distances might be small, but the symbolism is huge, proof that she's still willing to try, still willing to push herself forward, even if the steps are slow and shaky.
My appointment with Dr. Now,
Are you doing it in here or in your room, the dining room?
No, I'm gonna have it right over here. That's why I want to straighten up so I can make the area clear.
Okay.
I'm gonna get it all.
When panic attacks kept her from meeting Dr. Now in person, Karen didn't throw in the towel. Instead, she met him on a laptop screen, determined to stay in the fight. It wasn't the plan, but it was effort. And in her situation, effort matters. Dr. Now isn't the type to hand out gold stars, but this persistence might earn his respect. For Karen, the appointment is more than just medical. It's a lifeline. Even if she can't physically make it to him yet, she's showing she's not ready to let her fear make the decisions.
at your neighborhood to go to and check your weight so we can monitor your progress and see where we are. Because if you don't do that, moving too soon is going to be a problem for you.
Karen's discipline is starting to show. She's cut down on portion sizes, turned away from high-calorie favorites, and even booked her first telehealth session with a therapist. When the call starts, she's more excited than nervous, ready to unpack the weight that food can't measure. The conversation leaves her smiling, a rare look of lightness in her expression. It's too early to call it a breakthrough, but something about that session feels different. For the first time, she seems like she's not just hoping for change, she's actually beginning to believe in it.
You know, taking a dog on a walk is almost like taking him to the movies.
Right.
Because there's all kinds of smells and interesting things out there. I mean, that's as much for your dog as you. That dog deserves a walk around the block.
Progress isn't always dramatic, but it's still progress. When Karen's daughter notices her mom walking faster than usual, it's a small but real victory. Even taking the dogs out, brief as it was, marks another step, literally, out of isolation. The stamina isn't there yet, and she still cuts outing short, but the important part is that she's moving forward at all. The more she pushes past the door, the more likely she is to keep going. Momentum can be fragile, but once it builds, it can carry her further than she's dared to imagine.
I'm sorry, Bismo, I can't. Bismo, come on, honey. Come on, baby. I'm so sorry. I can't do this. Come on.
When I first tried to go out, it was overwhelming and I couldn't do it. I knew I wasn't going to be able to go and do it.
When someone comes to weigh Karen at home, the number reads 604 pounds. She's shed some weight, but the climb ahead is still massive. Dr. Now sets a clear target: lose 50 pounds in 2 months. No gimmicks, no shortcuts. For Karen, the goal is both daunting and motivating. It's not just a number, it's a ticket to the next stage of her recovery. Every meal, every step, every choice will either move her closer or drag her further away. The countdown starts now, and this time, there's no room to stall.
Hello.
Hi, Dr. Now.
Hi, Karen. Well, what is your weight?
It was 604. When I first started, I think I was in a high 600, so I might have still probably lost close to 100 pounds.
For the first time in a while, Karen steps outside her house with a destination in mind: Dr. Now's clinic. The anxiety that once held her hostage seems to have loosened its grip, at least for today. She's nervous, yes, but she's also ready to prove she's serious about this fight. Just getting into the car feels like a milestone. If she can make it all the way, she'll finally be face-to-face with the man who can help change her life. It's a pivotal moment, and the next few hours will decide how it plays out.
Well, it's gonna have to do, but it's not perfect. 10:45 and my appointment's at 11:30, so it's time to get going. We can leave out together, but I just want to grab my stuff.
Oh, put your shirt down in the back.
Okay.
When Dr. Now hears about her decision, his patience wears thin. From his perspective, she's overestimating her progress and underestimating the urgency of her situation. The clock isn't slowing down for her comfort. Her health is still hanging by a thread. He makes it clear that if she truly wants to change, she has to push harder and stop waiting for the perfect moment. Karen's next steps will determine whether this journey moves forward or stalls out in the same cycle she's been trapped in for years.
Because I know I'm doing really well. I feel that the scale wasn't accurate because the nurse had a hard time zeroing out the weights. I just want to prove to Dr. Now that I'm going to lose the goal that he gave me to lose, so I can show him that I'm serious about it.
Juan, 47, lives every day trapped in a body that's slowly stealing his future. He calls his life a living hell, and from the way he moves, it's not an exaggeration. Getting out of bed isn't just a chore, it's an exhausting battle. He never imagined he'd reach this size, yet here he is, facing the reality he can't ignore. Each morning begins with pain and ends with frustration, but now with his health slipping further, he wonders if this could be the moment he turns everything around.
The mobility issues that I have today are nothing that I ever expected when I was younger. I just never envisioned being here at this size.
It's clear Juan despises how large he's become. His face shows the defeat of a man who wants change but struggles to keep moving forward. Walking leaves him wincing, every step shooting pain through his body like a cruel reminder. Sometimes it feels downright impossible. Still, he forces himself to move, however slowly, knowing the alternative is worse, staying still until his body gives up entirely. That determination, however faint, flickers inside him. It's the only thing keeping him from surrendering completely to the weight that's been crushing his life.
I've been living with my sister off and on since losing mobility. My family does help me out. My mother and my brother come down to Metairie. We do a lot together.
Juan's family admits they feel guilt watching him deteriorate. His brother worries constantly, knowing the clock is ticking on Juan's health. The extra pounds aren't just showing, they're accelerating. Yet in their worry, they also step up, helping him when he can't manage the simplest daily tasks. There's a quiet strength in the way they rally around him, even when it's uncomfortable. They're holding him up, literally and emotionally, in the hope that their support might be enough to push him toward the help he desperately needs before it's too late.
My mom, she's a down-home Southern Cajun Creole cook, and I love being around my mom's cooking.
Beyond Juan's appetite is a family dynamic that keeps the cycle going. His mother takes care of him like he's still her boy, cooking whatever he asks for without hesitation. It's her way of showing love, but it's also enabling him. Every request is met with a plate, not a conversation about change. Over time, these acts of care have become part of the problem, nurturing his cravings instead of challenging them. She thinks she's helping, but in reality, she's feeding the very thing that's destroying him, both physically and emotionally.
Hearing my mother cry, and every boy wants to be able to protect their mother. So because we were so young, we couldn't do anything about it. I felt angry a lot. I felt sad.
Juan's relationship with food began in a childhood clouded with violence. He remembers his father mistreating his mother, moments he could do nothing to stop. Too young to protect her, too powerless to intervene. He sought comfort in eating. Food became his escape, a world where the noise and pain couldn't reach him. But that coping mechanism stayed long after the abuse ended, growing into a dependency that now threatens his life. What started as survival has become a prison he can't walk away from without rewriting decades of habit.
Hey, before you sit, can you grab me a bottle of water, please? Thank you. I was always musically inclined, doing piano keyboard lessons.
The sheer amount Juan eats is staggering. 5 to 10 full meals in a single day. That's not hunger, it's emotional anesthesia. It's how he's numbed every bad memory, every pang of loneliness, every reminder of his past. Blaming his father for setting him down this path feels natural to him. After all, without that toxic childhood, maybe food wouldn't have become his anchor. But even with a clear cause, the truth is this: only Juan can untie himself from the grip of this addiction before it's too late.
Having instances where I feel like I might stroke out.
Mac and cheese, that's what I need. It's getting harder for him to move around and to do the things that he would like to do. And now he's gotten to the point where he's disgusted.
Juan's mother speaks with the kind of fear only a parent knows. She's watched her son's abilities fade to almost nothing, helpless to stop it. He can barely take care of himself, and she worries constantly about what might happen if he doesn't change. Still, she holds on to faith. She believes there's a part of him that's disgusted enough with his situation to finally act. Her hope is quiet but steady, like a lifeline she's throwing into the water, praying he grabs on before the current takes him under.
Push him in the right direction and assist him instead of assisting them in doing all the wrong things, assisting them in doing the right thing.
I know I can't live forever at this size. My physical body is breaking down on me.
For the first time, Juan says the words out loud, he needs help. It's not a vague thought anymore. It's a decision. He's ready to change direction, ready to put in the work to save his own life. The road will be long, and he knows it, but saying it means owning it, and that's the first step he's taken in years. Now, the question hangs heavy in the air. Does he have the will to see it through, or will this be another promise lost to time?
And he helps them to find a healthy way to live, because I'm admitting to myself and others, I no longer have my hands on the wheel like I should.
Packing for the trip to see doctor now brings a wave of anxiety Juan can't shake. He worries his body won't survive the journey, that the stress will be too much. Still, he's going. That choice alone is a victory, facing the fear instead of hiding from it. Each mile is a gamble, but it's also a statement. He's willing to try. Whatever comes next, this moment will stand as proof that he didn't just sit at home and wait for his life to disappear completely under the weight.
Heard that he's rather strict, but I'm okay with it. Hopefully he'll commit to taking me on as my health is declining. There's no one to blame but me.
You can step on the scale whenever you're ready.
Okay.
At the hospital, the truth lands hard: 672 pounds. Seeing that number makes Juan question whether change is even possible. It's not just a number, it's the embodiment of years of pain, habit, and neglect. He fears Dr. Now might look at him and see someone beyond saving. But in the doctor's office, there's no pity, only reality. The challenge is clear. The stakes are life and death, and Juan now knows exactly what mountain he's been tasked to climb, starting from the very bottom.
And try to lose weight and to the point that surgery is going to be safe for you. We're going to do a follow-up with you in 2 months, and I want you to lose 70 pounds by then and show me you're going to be able to do this.
Meeting Dr. Now is exactly what Juan needed. The doctor lays it out plainly. Lose 70 pounds in 2 months, and surgery is on the table. No loopholes, no excuses. It's a steep target, but it's also a lifeline. For once, Juan's path forward has clear markers. There's no guesswork, just discipline, sacrifice, and commitment. It's a test of not just his body, but his resolve. If he can push through, the surgery could be the turning point that finally pulls him out of this slow-motion nightmare.
Too much pain to do exercises, or when the cravings hit me really hard and all I want is something sweet. So I'm doing my best and giving it my all.
Seeing Juan on the basketball court with his nephew is a sight no one expected. It's not intense, competitive play. It's movement, laughter, and proof he's willing to try. The sweat on his brow isn't just from effort, it's from pride. For years, his size kept him on the sidelines of life. Now, even in these small doses, he's part of the game again. It's a reminder that change doesn't just show up on the scale, it shows up in moments where living feels possible again.
Before I was 627, and the doctor told me to lose 70 pounds in 2 months. So if I did that, I'll be 557 or less.
Your weight today is 618. Please go to room 5.
That's short. I'm not feeling too good about that.
The weigh-in is a gut punch. After weeks of effort, the scale reveals he's only lost 9 pounds. It's a fraction of the target. Disappointment hangs heavy in the room, and Juan braces for Dr. Now's reaction. But the doctor sees the effort, sees the fight in him, and chooses not to shut the door. Instead, Juan is given another chance, another stretch of time to prove he can meet the goal. It's mercy, but it's also a warning. There won't be infinite lifelines waiting for him.
So we get you to talk to nutritionists to understand what's good and what to do with your eating habits. And they go over all the stuff that you used to eat and help you with that.
That's
okay?
great.
And you too?
Yeah.
9 months later, Juan steps back into the hospital. The number on the scale has dropped to 505 pounds, a staggering loss of 167 pounds. The room fills with relief. The journey was grueling, but the proof is right there in front of them. Persistence works. Dr. Now's approval is clear in his expression, but so is the reminder that this isn't the end. Surgery will only be the beginning of another chapter, and the same grit that got Juan here will be needed every single day forward.
Last time I was 577, and it was the same goal to lose 70 pounds over 2 months.
You can step on the scale whenever you're ready.
So if I did that, I'll be right there at 500 pounds.
Your weight today is 505.
Dashaun is the oldest of his siblings, but you'd never know it by looking at his life. He's 28 years old, can't do much for himself, and has no idea what he actually weighs. Every morning, he wakes up trapped in a body he can't stand, and every step feels like punishment. He calls it a nightmare, and you can see why. There's no comfort here. The worst part? Even the simplest things need someone else's hands. Dr. Now might be his only real shot if Dashaun can grab it before it's too late.
I live with my mom, 2 sisters and 1 brother. So now I'm stuck in this situation where I'm the oldest out of 4, but my younger siblings taking care of me.
His expression says it all. Asking his sister for help is like chewing glass, painful, humiliating, and something he wishes he could avoid, but his body leaves him no choice. Thankfully, she doesn't flinch. No sighs, no judgment. She just steps in. That kind of loyalty is rare, especially when the help means doing the things most people wouldn't even consider. It's not just a chore, it's a lifeline. And while Dashaun clearly hates relying on her, the fact she never walks away might be the one thing holding him together right now.
Helping bathe him, it's kind of tough. It's kind of awkward. I'm not washing up my mom or my dad, I'm washing up my big brother. So it's like my little big brother. Washing him up is a little awkward.
Then she says something that makes your jaw drop. Dashaun can go months without touching water. Months. Suddenly it makes sense why she bathes him, wipes him down, and keeps the smell from taking over the house. That's not just family duty, that's rescue work. And she still does it without complaint, even when it's physically and emotionally draining. That kind of dedication doesn't come around often. If Dashaun can't find motivation for himself, he should at least fight to honor the effort she puts in every single day to keep him going.
I do like the store runs for him, and sometimes I'll go get his food for him if he needs it. Sometimes I cook. Whatever he needs, I'm there. I'm there to help.
His mom laughs, calling him spoiled, and she's not wrong. After Dashaun was born, it took her 5 years to have another child. That's half a decade of undivided attention, endless spoiling, and saying yes to almost every whim. When you grow up getting whatever you want, self-discipline doesn't exactly build itself. It's no surprise he learned to chase comfort instead of challenge. But now, those early years of indulgence have turned into a trap. Breaking that lifelong pattern isn't going to be easy, not when his body is already paying the price.
She cared about me and loved me. A couple of years later, the stepdad came in the picture. That's when it started to get worse. I did not get along with my stepdad at all. With my stepdad, he used to call me slow, dumb, fat.
The tension with his stepdad explains a lot. His mom admits that whenever arguments broke out, Dashaun was quick to defend her. No matter what, that loyalty forged a bond that still runs deep. But even the strongest soldiers need somewhere to escape, and for him, that place was food. Every bite was a small retreat from the chaos at home, a way to feel in control when everything else felt unpredictable. It worked for a while, but decades later, the same escape route is now the thing holding him captive.
Any more chips?
No. You around any sweets?
They got lemon cake.
Let me see. Oh.
That's the lemon cake, and this one's the Mississippi.
You might as well get both.
All right, we about to go grab the ice cream and pretty much be heading out.
When Dashaun says he doesn't believe he can change, it's not some dramatic performance, it's raw honesty. You can hear the defeat in his voice. He wants to think there's hope, but wanting is easy, doing is hard, and for him, doing feels almost impossible. It's a dangerous mindset because it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. The real challenge now is whether his family can help him see himself differently before his body makes the decision for him. He needs more than support, he needs belief, and that's the hardest thing to rebuild.
I've been big my whole life, so I don't know. Everything I tried don't work. I tried exercising, I tried dieting, and nothing really helps. I'll lose like 5 to 10 pounds, but it comes right back.
Finally, he's sitting across from Dr. Now. Dashaun lays it out. Every time he loses weight, it comes back. And when it comes back, it brings friends. It's the same frustrating cycle so many people know, but his stakes are higher. Each relapse puts him closer to losing everything. Dr. Now listens, but he's not here to hand out sympathy. He's here to break cycles, not patbacks. The first step? Figuring out whether Dashaun is ready to fight harder than he's ever fought before in his entire life.
I was taking care of him, and it seemed like a free place to stay, and free food and everything. So he has a lot of reasons not to change his situation and start taking responsibility for himself.
The doc sends in reinforcement, a physiotherapist tasked with getting Dashaun moving again. It's not about full workouts, it's about reclaiming mobility inch by inch. Surprisingly, he's holding his own. The therapist even admits he's making progress. If Dashaun can turn these small victories into habits, surgery won't be a fantasy anymore. It'll be a concrete plan. But habits take discipline, and discipline doesn't grow overnight. He'll have to decide if the pain of change is worth more than the comfort of staying exactly the same.
So my goal for him, trying to get up a little bit more frequently and move, and it doesn't have to be long distances, short distances is enough. And if Sean were to do his exercises 2 or 3 times a day, it's not going to take long for him to see change very quickly.
But here's the problem. Bad habits don't die quietly. Dashaun starts slipping. His eating goes off track, and Dr. Now doesn't miss it. He calls it like he sees it, pointing to the family for enabling him. Unhealthy food doesn't appear magically. Someone's bringing it in. If they can't lock the doors on those habits, Dashaun will never break free. It's a brutal truth, but one that has to be faced before his progress disappears completely. Enabling feels like kindness until you see it's actually feeding the problem.
Who's from that neighborhood?
You're in a quiet neighborhood. I'm still worried that you're stuck in the house, though.
I mean, I don't know. There's nothing really out there for me to do, really. Well, it is, but nothing that I'm interested in.
You ever have a job, Dashaun?
No.
To keep him from sinking deeper, Dr. Now calls in a psychiatrist. Maybe the real battle is in his head, but Dashaun sits through the session like he's already checked out, arms crossed, walls up. It's frustrating to watch because this is exactly the kind of help that could shift his mindset. Still, no one can force him to change his mind. That choice has to come from him, and right now, he's keeping that door tightly shut.
I mean, your stubbornness, like how, like talking about stuff you don't want to talk about, that you need to let out, or you just don't want to talk about it, period. Like, I mean,
Then comes the moment patients dream of. Dr. Now says he's proud, and Dr. Now doesn't hand out those words like candy. That's a stamp of approval that has to be earned. For Dashaun, it's a signal that he's on the right track, at least for now. But keeping that approval means pushing harder even when the excitement fades. Because in the end, it's not one good week that changes your life. It's showing up for yourself over and over, no matter how heavy the fight feels.
I thought he quit 4 months ago when he refused to go to a local clinic. I got more optimistic when he answered one of my calls and agreed to at least start PT again. But after one more session, he quit again, and now he's not picking up any more calls from me.